Foxy, it's your birthday. Not for real, just for play. This is Cree Summer, and Moana Nui will be right back.
Hello, everyone. It is me. Life is a joke. Ha 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 ha. Welcome to the Opinionated Variants. Excuse me. I apologize. I apologize. I'm just so excited. Backstage, we was, me and my moderator was kind of getting into it. Welcome to my show. It's the Opinionated Variants of the 616. And my other co-host is not with me today, but this is our Halloween version. I wanted to introduce some cosplayers to you because this is what's called a Costober. And I want to introduce some of my girls to you here. We have Mapetitecosplay, who is an amazing cosplayer, as well as Queerasscosplayer below. Ladies, say hello.
Hello.
Hi.
I am just so glad that they were able to join me today. With this being October and our month, it's like the cosplayer's Christmas. And it's just an amazing month. I already know my Petite Cosplay, it handles Ren Fair that she works, and she's going to be extremely busy up until, for 3 months? Basically, for
Pretty much. I want to say the last weekend is always like the weekend after Thanksgiving. So all the way up until whatever that is, like I think it's December 1st now.
It's crazy.
Thanksgiving's a little late.
It's crazy. I'm like, it's still going on? I'm like, damn, this is it's still going on. Okay, so let's get into it. I want to know, basically, my petite, I'm gonna start with you. What made you cosplay? What got you into cosplaying?
The very first time that I even attempted to cosplay was going to Comic Palooza here in Houston, and I didn't really know anything about it. All I knew was that I was going to go meet the man, Stan Lee, and I didn't want to do it in regular mundane clothes. I was like, if I'm going to meet this man, I have to do it as Storm. And then when I showed up at this giant comic convention and all these people are in costume and just having a good time, I'd never been to a Comic Con. I never even knew what one was. So literally meeting Stan Lee as Storm was my introduction into cosplay. And people at that Comic Con just like adopted me. And then I just started cosplaying since then.
And Bree, what got you into it?
Y'all. So my cosplay story is I've always wanted to cosplay, like when I was younger and stuff, but I guess I was being scary. And I reached out to some local cosplayer, like modeling group, thinking I was just asking like some questions about like, how do I start? And somehow y'all suckered me into modeling. And so my first cosplay was as a model at a modeling shoot with them, and I've been cosplaying ever since.
Yeah, I think you was like asking some questions. He was like, "Oh yeah, we have a shoot. Come on, let's go." you just that was your first time cosplaying. That was amazing. Okay, so how do you go about choosing your costumes? What inspires you, Brie? I'm gonna start with you. What inspires you to choose a costume? And I'm going to jump ahead real quick because I like the way how you do it, and I'm trying to learn that way, but I don't want to say it. So I'm going to stop and let you answer that question so that people will know what you're talking about. Go ahead.
Okay, so how do I choose my
how do you choose your cosplay?
So I'm a little different. I'm not like the average cosplayer in that I cosplay for the, I guess, like fashion and aesthetic of it all more than anything. And so I choose not necessarily characters all the time. I really like original stuff. So I love artists. I looking for like we did the GDB shoot. That was really awesome. I like looking for unique takes on characters or just bringing art to life and like doing twists. I am trying to do more characters because I have learned, as much as I love it when you go to like conventions and stuff, nobody knows who I am. So that part isn't as fun. It's like, oh, you're cute, but what are you? Like, who are you? What are you doing? So I'm trying to get better about that. But I just like love bringing art to life.
Okay. And which is how I'm starting to do it. How do you do that? How do you
so usually if there's like a theme or an idea, I actually use AI. I love using AI because I'm not the most visual person. I actually am a person who can't see in their mind, like most people do. So AI helps me visualize. So if someone gives me a concept or I kind of have my own idea of a concept, then I'll throw it in AI and play with it until the vision is kind of like, okay, this is where I like it's going. And then I'll use that to create my character. And that's really fun. I really like doing that.
And it's just Chat GPT, or is there a special?
Yes. So so it depends. I kind of do a mix of stuff right now. Oh, now I can't think of what it's called. Hold on. Let me look real quick on.
Is it the Black GPT?
Midjourney. So Midjourney, Chat GPT, or Bing has something too. Bing has one. And they all honestly like do different things. Like some is better with Black people. Some is better with like certain types of characters. So I'll play around with them all, but I'll say Microsoft Bing's AI and ChatGPT is the easiest. And literally with ChatGPT, because I use ChatGPT for everything, that's my AI best friend. So you literally just have a conversation. So you're like, okay, I'm trying to put together this cosplay. This is what I'm thinking. Can you create an image? And it'll create the image. And then I'm like, well, I have locks, not a fro. Take the fro off, put some locks. Okay, that's cool. Not feeling the pants. Let's put a skirt on. And sometimes I really have to like dig into like fashion knowledge and stuff like that. Like I'll look up, okay, there's a specific type of skirt I'm going for. What is this skirt called? Throw that into it. And you just play around with it until you get to what you want. And then that's like my base. And there's something called character sheets. I think it's called, and it'll actually like put everything together. So it can put like a front view, a side view, a back view, and then like list out everything that you need to do. And that's pretty much how I do it, especially because I have ADHD, and ChatGPT will give you, like, after you make the awesome picture, it will give you the step-by-step for everything, like literally. And so that will keep me on track with what I need to do and all of that. Or I'll be doing, I mean, I guess we all do it to a certain extent, 15 projects that never get done at the same time.
Bon appetit.
So, yeah.
Uh-huh.
What about you?
Let's see.
What is your design approach?
I have too many ideas in my head. I think my issue is almost the opposite of I have too many visualizations in my head, but I was not gifted with the skill of drawing or like sketching. And when I do, it looks like a fifth grader drew it, but you know what? I'm gonna do what I can. So I mostly started doing a lot of either like comic characters or movie characters, things like that. And then over the last few years, I've done more OCs, but I feel like that's more tied into like the Ren Fair and like the fairies and stuff like that. Creating my own characters for there. Because I don't think a lot of people understand that for Ren Fair, a lot of people do kind of become a character, like they go by a different name. They usually make their garb to reflect who they want to be while they're at fair. So there's a nice parallel with that, especially when creating OCs. So I like to do a lot of OCs when it comes to like the fairies or the different creatures like that. But I also just love cosplaying powerful women characters. Give me Storm, give me Lieutenant Uhura, give me Drolta, give me Catwoman. Like, give me those women that when they walk in the room, everybody pays attention. They don't demand it, they command it. You know what I'm saying? I love absolutely cosplaying those kind of characters. And we're going to ignore that comment about having 15 projects going on at one time. We're just going to ignore that one real quick. But I do try to put most of my focus into one so I can get that done. Or, something like if you're going to a convention, you want 2-3 outfits, working all those within like the span of 1 week to 2 weeks, because Con Crunch is the realest thing on the planet. It's like,
Yeah,
we got
Peter,
2 weeks.
Her costumes are always amazing. She's very inspiring. She's inspired me. She really has. So my people that I cosplay is my attitude. And I don't know if that's you guys, but for me, I started out with, well, I was like, damn, it's only Black people that I can cosplay, because that was my mentality. I was like, I can only cosplay these people. So I was looking for Black people to cosplay. And then somebody told me I can cosplay anything. So I was like, okay, well, then let me do Black Widow, because I like her. So, then I tried that, and then I just started. I mean, Harry Potter got me into cosplaying. So from there, going to Comicpalooza, I don't know if you went in there. Was it 2011? When did you start going to Comicpalooza?
Oh, no, I was more like maybe 2014, 2015. I want to say 14. 2014 was my first Comicpalooza.
So in 2011, when I started, it was just my Harry Potter group. And then I saw that I can cosplay other characters. And then that's how I joined other groups and started doing, other characters. And it was amazing, and I enjoyed it. But it's like, I'm just starting to do cutesy and funny and smiling, because I like women that I don't have to smile, or I can be sneaky. You can get a smirk, like you say, Catwoman. I can smirk, but that's that sneaky smile, Maleficent. The Storm. I don't have to smile. The Dora Milajes. I don't have to smile at all, and that's I need to get out of that. I need to get out of that, and I enjoy that, because I started doing anime stuff too. So that's how I started. I pushed myself into what are you saying? Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, we're trying to pull in more Black beautiful women into our group. We're trying to pull more in.
Come here.
That's my tea party friend. She need to be doing this. I already told her.
Okay. Oh, I saw Clover was here. Hey, Clover. Because I need to get with Clover, because she does mermaids. Or they.
Yes,
I'm not sure what
that's
your pronouns
another
are.
thing. See, that's too many things. I can't jump into that right now. I can't.
Right.
I need to control this first before being a mermaid.
Is a whole
new. That's a whole new genre. I can't. Even this in the cosplay. That's how you have your family tree. Mermaids have their own little
umbrella.
They have their own little thing. Yeah, married fairies. I'm doing that, but the mermaid thing, y'all are on a whole nother level, and I'm not even there yet. So let me try and get there to join y'all, but I'm not even there yet.
It's not the fact that y'all aren't cosplayers. It's the stepping out of the box that all of us have been put into to do something that brings you joy. It has nothing to do with cosplaying. Like, cosplaying is just one thing that brings me joy. It's not everything. You know what I'm saying? It's the people love to tell you, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, but you can, right? And as someone who has always felt a deep connection to the ocean, I've always been a swimmer. I've always been a lover of water. Once I saw that people were becoming mermaids, I was like, I don't know why I didn't even know that was a thing. And I really didn't know it was a thing until maybe like, honestly, 2 years ago. So it's not that we're calling you a cosplayer, it's the fact that we're saying there's an umbrella of creativity that allows people to be free. That's what I'm talking about. Don't think I'm calling you a cosplayer, because I'm not. I'm talking about the ability to be free and be whoever you want to be. That's why all of us are doing everything that we're doing is important. We have no boxes. Exactly. That's all I'm talking about. We don't have a box, and that's the whole point. Especially as Black people, people love to put us in a box. And we are literally here to say that no, we're not. I cosplay, but I'm also a fairy. You know, um, Magical Me, dressed in her Joker, she does a lot of charity work, like through costuming. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, we are finding our place in the world, and we're not conforming to what people want us to do. We are creating in so many different ways that a lot of us did not have access to ever. Yeah, literally. Yes, freedom. That's it. It's freedom. That is it. Hmm. Oh, people put mermaids into that category. It's because people don't know. At the end of the day, nobody knows. They just see you like putting on a costume, and because cosplay has become such a thing, they're just going to put you into that category because people just don't know. They just see people quote unquote in costumes, and then they're just like, oh, blah 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 blah. But I don't even see a lot of people who even do like their fake cosplays really as cosplayers. I mean, at the end of the day, cosplay stands for costume player. It doesn't matter what you are. You don't have to be strictly anime. You don't have to be strictly comic book. You can be a fairy. You can be a mermaid. You can be an ogre. You can be anything that you want to be. The whole term is costume player. So, not that, we're trying to offend. I'm just trying to clarify for anyone and everyone who is watching. Being called a cosplayer really isn't a bad thing. Most people just are going to associate that with comic cons or anime cons. But at the end of the day, if you're making something and you're putting it on, just be who you are. And that's it, period.
Ma Petite, how do you, like, we know how Brie approaches her designs. How do you approach your designs and your concepts? It's like, okay, you come up
reference
with
pictures.
you come up with your cosplay. This is what I want to do. What are your next steps?
I would say at least with comic characters or like movie characters, I study. If I can get as many reference pictures as possible, if I can watch that movie over and over again, I'm going to. Most of the time, if I am cosplaying somebody, it's because I already was like obsessed with them, so I'm just bringing it to life. You know what I mean? So I do a lot of studying. I will look at every screenshot that I can. I am very detail oriented, which sucks.
Why is that us pausing it and be like, okay, wait, I need her to turn, and you pausing it, and he's like, okay, I gotta get that picture, just so you can see the costume.
Literally, because one of the ones that I've been like just yearning to do is bring back my Dame Vaco, because everything that I did when I met Carl Urban, and that was like back in 2017, that was literally like a 1 week thing. I mean, like driving from Houston to San Antonio. When I wasn't behind the wheel, I was in the passenger seat, literally sewing my costume together. And even like the night when we were in the hotel, I'm like making my little choker and all that other stuff. All of that was so small and so last minute. It was just like, get this done. But I really want to do, it's almost like a seafoam green that she has. And, it's like the corset, the skirt. She's got like the big, I don't even know what you call it. It always reminds me of the Queen of Hearts, like that big like thing on the back that goes into the corset. Like I want to make all of that, but even when I was just in the 5 days that I was trying to throw that cosplay together, I was
You
for
do
real
it
just
so
studying everything.
beautifully. That's what like both inspires me and like always has me like, what the heck? Because I'm over here trying to figure all this out, and when I do that, I get like anxious and oh my god, this doesn't work. My petite,
I didn't say I wasn't anxious. Hold on.
but like the
Let's
way you
clarify
just
what
simply like, okay, that didn't work, we doing this. Okay, that didn't work, we doing this, and it's like together in 24 hours, and I'm like, I've been and scrapped the whole thing and started a whole new project. Like, you know what I mean? And she just gets it together. Like, I don't know. But we all do that. We're all like last minute still sewing.
Yeah, because I be like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And she'll send a picture, okay, this is what I'm doing. And then it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And then my mind opens up, and then I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can do this.
Some
So
of
I can
ideas
see
come at
in
the
my
last
mind.
minute.
So like when I go and I look at houses, okay, I can design this, I can do this, I can do this. So I can visualize, but I'm trying to do what you do, Bree, and use the AI so that I can see it better. Because I don't, like you said, we got 25 things going on. I don't stop working on this damn Barbie dress because it's not coming out right. It just irritated me. So I was like, okay, I have to stop and walk away and just come back to it.
I was like, I could come back to this. This has way too many steps.
Yeah, it's
Tired of building this.
It's not working. It's not doing it. And that was the next thing I wanted to ask about your challenges and your triumphs. Is like, when do you see yourself, like when you achieve it? Once you create it and you achieve it, what is that feeling? And then is there something that you haven't created that you just like, I'm done? It made you so angry. What's the best one, and then what's the one that made you extremely angry that you don't even want to go back to it?
I don't know that I have one yet that's made me so angry that I haven't gone back to it. I think my biggest challenge is I challenge myself too much, because as y'all know, I pick up a new skill with every cosplay. Like when we went to the Black Fade Gala, I taught myself how to hand bead. I hand beaded my own bodysuit or whatever. I hand dye my stuff. I am the queen of buying stuff in white and making my own color. But no. I can't simply have the normal RIT dye color that comes with it. I've got to make this extra color that you got to mix all these colors together to do. Literally every single time I do a cosplay, I am teaching myself a new skill, which is both like a blessing and a curse, because I do pick up stuff really easy. Like I just watch a YouTube, watch a few TikToks, and I'm like, okay, I got this, and I'll do it. But then at the same time, some of them, like hand beading, what the heck was I thinking?
Listen, magical me with doing that Dora Milaje.
Right.
Because I had just ordered all the beads and I was studying and I was like, that's a lot.
That was 8 months of that whole costume, and 3 months of that 8 months was the beading. So
yeah, I still want to do mine, but I'm just like, Lord, I actually need to sit, have concentration, block out like 3-4 hours a day. Like it's Clover said, I don't think any of us stick to simple. We don't, boo. We don't.
No, we punish ourselves to I can't even believe half of the stuff that we do. And it's just so many ideas. I can't watch a television show without saying, okay, I want to cosplay that. My cosplay list is like 15 pages long.
We're not going to talk about that either.
Stop saying it. You know, I got people sending me, are you going to cosplay this? I'm like, really? Are you serious? Are you serious? what was that one? I don't know if I went to the movies with you guys. It was it was the Good Witch and the Bad Witch. It was a school. Damn, I can't remember the name
Was
of that
it
movie.
the school of good and evil or whatever?
Yes.
That was Netflix.
Yes.
That was Netflix, wasn't it?
Was it Netflix or in the movies?
Was that the one with
I
Kerry
saw
Washington?
it. Yes, that's the one with Kerry Washington.
Yeah, that was on. Well, it did get streamed on Netflix. Maybe it wasn't.
Did you have a
there.
streaming
I
party?
don't know.
No, we went to see it in the movies, and I guess you had advanced screening in the movies, and then it played on Netflix.
Clover said, "How are you learning and perfecting your makeup?" Girl, drag queens.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Listen,
I can't tell you how much RuPaul Drag Race I have watched in my entire
that
life.
helps our cosplays. That helps, like,
It helps. You learn so many secrets.
yeah.
Like,
Yes.
all that. Because I can say, like, at least for me growing up, I was the most tomboy of tomboys. I got 3 older brothers. I grew up literally in a neighborhood that there's maybe 2 girls even close to my age. It was nothing but boys. I was in the mud. I was dirt biking. You like, if the boys were getting gross and dirty, so was I. Like, I grew up the most tomboy of tomboys. So even learning something like makeup or learning a craft or anything, that was nothing, not even close to what I was used to. And then I'm not even gonna lie, once I started getting deep into cosplaying or doing model calls and stuff like that, showing up and realizing that none of these makeup artists didn't know what to do with a Black person, I said, okay, fine, I got to learn how to do my own makeup, because there's nothing more almost like dehumanizing than showing up to a model call and they literally probably don't have any Black people, like you might be the only one. And of course the makeup and hair artists, because they always say makeup and hair provided, not for us. Never for us. So I have learned how to show up to places already done. And I will say a lot of that did come from probably like RuPaul, because I can't say I'm not just like a makeup artist tutorial person, but I'm also very much a visual learner. So I used to like just scroll either down Google or down Pinterest and see something and just copy it. So I've learned from repetition more than anything. I've had to learn from repetition, but a lot of it was just learning to do it myself. And then once I started watching more RuPaul things, I was like, oh, okay. But other than that, it was literally just one of those, like, no one else is going to do it for me. They've proved it to me too many times. I just got to do it myself. So that's it.
It's like
if makeup artists seen me doing my makeup, I would get clowned so bad. So many people will like praise and compliment my makeup, and I promise, like, if I ever sat and let y'all watch me put makeup on, you would be like, what in the heck are you doing? Like this, I had no clue what I was doing. I just started doing stuff on my face. I didn't know what I did.
And that's how makeup looks unless I'm on Pinterest or one of the makeup artists that I'm following, and that was this look that I got, and then I just made it my own with the bejewels and stuff. Following them helped me learn how to do my makeup. It's like you had to follow the makeup stylist, and then doing the normal foundation, and you got to wash your, of course you always have to wash your face, but then you got moisturizer, you got 4 things before you even put the moisturizer on. Then I learned you got to be from the heavy to the lightest, and then you put your foundation, not even the foundation, what is it that you
like concealer and all that.
Oh, girl.
Yeah.
Powder, setting powder. Like,
Prime,
I don't even know what half those are.
Primer. And you put the foundation. It's like, okay, you know what? And then so many people do it in so many different steps. It's like, okay, I learned that I can't do the eye makeup because I have to, I can't do the wing things. And
that's my favorite.
Okay, we're gonna need to have classes on doing.
That is my favorite. If nothing else, I will have a wing.
I mean,
will have me a wing.
I say having a cat eye, but they're sisters, maybe cousins, but they not. And they
Yeah.
ain't never gonna be. But I be
That's
trying.
my thing. I like eyeliner and lips more than anything.
Same.
And you'll tend to find me with that. I try to put more makeup when we're doing a shoot because it looks better. But like right now, I'm not wearing any like I'm not doing all that. I literally have some eye stuff on my lips, and I attempted to put a little shimmer today. I don't know if you could tell, but I attempted. And that is it. I don't have the patience, y'all. I told y'all I have ADHD, and
my thing is like,
it's not doing it. I'm not.
These cute little things called freckles on my nose. I stopped liking foundation and all that heaviness because I didn't like coloring, covering my freckles. And then like out of nowhere, now freckles are a whole trend. And I'm like, I know you B words used to make all sorts of fun of me for having freckles and be like, are you mixed? No, my daddy black, my mama black. These freckles, I don't know who they came from, that Irish man about 3 generations back, but whatever. Like I used to get made fun of so much for my freckles. And so once I got to a point that freckles became a trend, I was just like, dude, like screw this foundation. Not to mention I'm terrible. I will just go to sleep with a full face of makeup, wake up the next morning and like, let me smudge this, redo my eyeliner and get up and go. I'm bad about washing my face.
Taking it off
takes
3 years. All those steps that you were just talking about.
I'm taking it off, and see you just take the wipe and wipe it off, putting it on.
It smears everywhere, and then you have to like it. Maybe it's my neurodivergent. It's ick. I don't like.
Well, it's just me. My OCD. You do it in sections. You do this, you just do it all in sections, but it's just putting it on. I got all the damn jewels and shit all over the place, and then you got to take those off and stick them back nice and neat.
I learned to stop doing glitter because of that. Glitter be everywhere.
Don't get me started on glitter. We're not talking about glitter. I can't do it.
I went to one festival and did a little bit too much, and it was glitter in my car for like 2 years. I'm not. There's no.
Okay, so I got this foundation for you to put on. That's glitter. That's not all over the car.
It's not going to get all over the place.
It probably will, but it's not
as bad as like glitter.
It's lotion glitter.
Oh, okay. So I like shimmer. I love shimmer. I love a good shimmer, and
glitter is forever.
I've been doing that since what was that? The 90s when we thought we were supposed to wear shimmer with everything. Like everything came in shimmer. I still look for the shimmer version of stuff. There's not that many, but I'm gonna find it.
with your hair.
No,
I know that you have your knots in, but how are y'all with the wigs? Do y'all have a problem like me and have a bin full of wigs? And every time you see a wig, you want to buy one. And if you get another wig, your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend is like, I'm gonna divorce you. What?
I put myself in timeout. I do have a lot of wigs because, as you know, because I think I got y'all on Kim Beckled.
Yes, and then I went out of control.
Yeah, we have just about every color of those. It was a problem. But I love my locks right now. I try to incorporate I can't wait till they're longer. Not too long, it's too hot here. But I try to incorporate, and I like, even though we do all types of characters and not just black characters, I like making my character black. So I need like all my looks. I might have 2 looks that have had straight hair. Mm-hmm. Like all my looks are some type of like a big afro, my locks, puffs, some type of look that you gonna know I'm black. I'm the black. And I don't care about people saying the black version. I know that's like a little testy or whatever, but I want you to know that I'm black. And yes, I'm doing this character.
I definitely feel you on that. I really do, because I've kind of gotten that way too, that even if I'm wearing a wig or something, like it's got to be curly. It's got to be something that if I were to brush it out, it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And especially because I feel like I do a lot of characters that have colored hair. So I really do kind of gravitate more towards wigs. But I'm learning because, every single day there's a new this, there's a new that. Now we got lace fronts. And I'm like, how do I glue it down? What I got to do?
Oh my
It's too
God.
much.
It's
So much.
That's a whole nother hour. It's like you have to, that's why I hate 8 o'clock photo shoots, because you got to get up at 4 o'clock in the damn morning to do the makeup, and then you need a whole hour just for your wig. You need a whole hour because trying to put on a lace front.
Listen.
I'm like, I don't know how y'all glue that down. YouTube. Yes, YouTube is.
I'm learning.
But
I like
don't last more than a day.
The little stretchy thing, just by the why can't I think of what it's called? Come on, y'all, help me.
The thing that goes over your head is supposed to keep it still?
No, like elastic that you would use in clothes too, like the
Oh, I
take that,
do that now.
and you sew it to each end, or like we do if we in a rush, hot glue. Do what you got to do. Pin it. Wrong. I don't care, but somehow it is connected to the wig, and I like that method where she put it so it stays tight. I am a headbanger. I have worn my wigs like that to festivals and everything. I'd be headbanging my little butt off. The wig does not fly off. That's enough for me. Because when I get in that car, the wig is coming off. I don't have time for glue. When I get in that vehicle, you're not going to know who I was. I'm not cute no more. It's coming off my head. Okay.
And that's why I use the tapes to tape to the front and to the side. And then after that, it just, and on the passenger seat, and that's it. I'm done. We get dressed out in the street.
Literally get dressed on the side of a road, in the parking lot, on a sidewalk.
And that is the best for me is we're getting dressed out in the street and people are looking at us. We have our trunks up and we are putting, we have on our spandex, and it's like, okay, so, in our mind, we have our black shirt and our spandex, and you just put your costume on over that. And they're like, what are y'all doing? So that's, I enjoy that.
The funniest thing is being in like the black, but having your makeup done and your wig, and like you forgot to get gas.
I will tell y'all, I want to say it was this time last year, something, but when I say I was in full drag, because I was in full drag, I had the wig, I had like my flower crown on, I had on like that red lace dress that I have with my corset, my belt. Like I was in full, pretty much fae gear. Like I was just fae from head to toe, but more like sexy dominatrix fae. And I was like, oh, I gotta get gas. I pulled into the gas station. Tell me why there was a literal fire truck with firefighters on the truck. And I was just like, yep, I'm just gonna get my little gas. With a whole truck of firefighters. I was just like, okay.
And I never fails because I'm really bad at gas. Like
me too.
I stop at Starbucks before I go because it's 8 o'clock in the morning. I need my coffee to deal with the day. So I'm go through drive-through. If it's not a long line, but if it's a long line, I'm like, I get it. So now I do my mobile order, run in, and oh my God, there was one, oh my God, what was it? Mirabelle. I had her on. I ran into the school. Wow, this little Hispanic girl. She's like, Mirabelle. I was like, hi, baby. Hi. She's like, hi, chica. I was like, and left. So Mirabelle and Maleficent are my two favorite ones because I have the little kids walking around going Maleficent, and I do, hey Beastie, how you doing? So those are the two that I enjoy. What's one of y'all favorites? I know you have so many, but what's a favorite that that the children are gonna know and like? Brie, I know that's hard for you.
I know. I
You
don't
do a
think
lot of OC. I know
I
that's
do a lot
hard.
of OC, and I like being grown. So I don't, we're gonna work. But I guess when I do like my Hufflepuff stuff, like I really enjoy doing Harry Potter stuff. As y'all knew, we're in this house. We're doing Harry Potter from Halloween to Christmas. So like we're doing it, And Micah, that's my youngest. Y'all, I have a 11-year-old. He is so enjoying this. Oh, and Faye, I guess Faye stuff too. Like I love, having my fairy wings on and kids coming up to me. Micah was an elf one year at Renfest and love it. So I guess I do little stuff with mine. The whole world's mine. But yeah, that would probably be the two for me is anything mystical and then Harry Potter for sure. But I don't do a character. I just go Hufflepuff.
I have to kind of think about it because I feel like I probably do that too. I definitely cosplay more grown women characters, but the responses that I have gotten from doing like my Fae Queen stuff is kind of unbelievable. Like the one that I did over the summer where I had on like my burgundy dress and my burgundy in silver crown.
Yeah.
Because me and Garrick Walker, shout out to our photographer, we were in Herman Park in the middle of downtown Houston, and we're in the middle of the shoot, and these two beautiful young Black girls just like they saw me, like I heard them gasp and they were like, "Oh my God, is she a princess?" You know what I mean? And I was just like, "No, like come here," like got down on their level as much as I could. It was just like, hugged them. I think I added their mom on Instagram because she was like, "If you do any sort of Black Fae anything in Houston, like I want to be there." I don't think you even know what this meant to my girls, like just seeing you, because it's true, representation matters.
Yes.
Um, and even being a high school educator, we've had so many dress up days already this year, but like I went as Tiana, and I did like the diner Tiana. And even seeing all of these beautiful Black and brown girls in high school who were just like, "Oh my God, like I didn't even think about like being Tiana today," or something like that. And then the few that I saw that were wearing some sort of semblance of green or whatever to like, even just represent, even if it was just like green shirt, I was like, they had their little Tiana moment, and I was just like, this is why we do these things. This is why we do it.
Okay, so there's one thing that I need everybody to know about, and that is the dark side of cosplaying. And it's something that we experience, and our skin is thick as we are older. But we have had younger cosplayers who skins is not as thick. You deal with photographers who don't want to shoot you because they don't know how to shoot you. You deal with other cosplayers who look at you like you're too big to be cosplaying that, or you are Black, why are you cosplaying a anime character? There's a lot of dark side to cosplaying. And is there anything that you guys experienced with that you can share, the what was the bad part about it and how you turned it positive? Mapetite, you first.
I want to say, I think the worst one for me was when we did that Sailor Moon, that beach shoot that we did.
Oh, I
And of
remember
course,
that.
it was like I was Sailor Neptune, and most of the time I didn't really receive too much of that, because at that point, my main cosplays that had been everywhere, like at that point, I want to say like, I had mostly only done Storm and Ahura because I was still very new to cosplay. Um, so Sailor Neptune, I want to say was the first time that I did a non-black character, and it was the first time that I want to say that I actually had negative comments of like, Neptune's not black, blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, well, she's not white either. You know what I mean? I want to say, is there anybody else? I know that's like the main one. That was like the very first thought that I thought of, because at least like it's really the anime community, and I'm gonna call them out. It's the anime community who
Yep.
acts like this. You know, they are
Yep.
Japanese made characters, but half of them, you know, most of them are not white. I don't know why y'all trying to gatekeep something that's not white. You don't even know the language that they're speaking in. You have to watch it subbed or dubbed because you don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's nothing even close to your native language. But yeah, it's just I don't know. And I've never really even been much of an anime person, and they just continue to just like turn me off from anime because it's so just gross and toxic. It's just like, why? Like, who freaking cares? But yeah, I want to say Sailor Neptune was definitely the first time that I want to say I saw all of that. I feel like
Yeah,
the only
that was my
negative
first
comment.
time doing a cute, and I didn't know what I was
Yeah,
doing.
I didn't
I
know
had
either.
no idea what I was doing. I'm like, I didn't like the photos that I got. I just wasn't happy because I didn't know what I was doing. I'm like,
Nope.
okay, and that's what made me is like, I'm not doing cute. I can't do cute.
No, it's
Cutesy
not
is
really
not
for
me.
me either. I'm definitely more of like the dark archetype. Yeah, I think that's really like the first one. Anything else has been probably close to body shaming. Because like I was real skinny. I'm not as skinny as I used to be. But I remember my storm that was literally printed on the cover of a magazine
Yeah,
getting
that song was amazing.
yeah,
That's
like that was shout
yeah,
out
that was very
to
chic,
John
right?
Palmer for that one. Yeah. That was 2017, 2018, something like that. I don't know. But just I guess from the pose that I was doing, somebody was just like, I see Storm, but where's like the Storm booty? Pretty much just trying to make a comment about my ass. And I'm like, who gives a shit? I'm literally on the front of a cover of a magazine. You're not even close
And
to
there
the
was a booty there.
performance,
What the
honey.
fuck? They wasn't looking? What the hell? That
I
butt
don't
was
know, because
there.
that was
I
literally a
saw
butt shot.
it.
It was literally a butt shot. Like I don't even know what to tell you.
It was a nice butt shot, and it was a nice butt shot. Let's just say that. It was
Like
nice.
literally, Clover, just haters. They just mad because they could never have me. You already know how the incels are. Incels love to try to tear us down because they could literally never have someone like me. And even if they came up to me at a comic convention, I would probably just like look at them and keep on going. Because when we go to Comic Cons, we're practically celebrities. So I'm not really talking to nobody anyway. Period.
I think I've been pretty blessed because I started with y'all. So I kind of already had like direction of what not to do, what to do, and things like that. So I think the only thing I can say was like the beginning with the photo shoots when there were a lot of different photographers that weren't black, and especially me being new, um, even outside of being black and them really not knowing what to do with us. And then on top of that, me being new and not knowing how to pose and everything yet. And I guess like rudeness a little bit, and um, just not the most like helpful or nice all the time.
Right,
But
because it doesn't help you with your self
yeah, like
confidence.
right, like the beginning was very like, do I really belong here? You know, because it felt a little out of place, not knowing what to do and not having that. But I had y'all, so
Yeah, I mean, you see the
I'm a
photographers
little
looking up and
spoiled.
down to see if they want to shoot you, and it's like you shoot me, don't shoot me. I go home and shoot my damn self. I don't care. You know, it's a one for one. We're updating each other's portfolios, and your thing is, I need you. Don't shoot me if you see my shirt like this. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Tell me, fix me. I shouldn't always have to have a handler to tell me to fix me. I need you to fix me, which is why I love black women photographers. Love black women photographers. Women in general, But if you are a Black woman, that is the excellent plus. Women, Black women, and then a Black man, and then just man. I just that's
when
me.
we're all together though, like I said, like when we all come together, like your shot is gonna be fire because we're all like, no, like
we're feeding off each other.
Again, but add this to it. We're fixing each other. Wait, let me try your hair like this. Like
yes.
We all work together.
We're there and we help each other. But to me, and our photographers should do that. Our photographers should be there to inspire us. And even if we have a certain pose, they should have some stuff too. Because not only do we do our homework, they should be doing their homework too. They should be like, okay, I see that you didn't do this pose. Let's try this. I saw these poses,
I'm just correcting what we can't see. Like it's when I take pictures at home, it's different because like it might be a mirror right behind, my camera and stuff. Like I can see myself doing the ugly thing and fix it. When I'm in front of a photographer, I don't know what I look like. I have no clue.
Well,
and then they don't even show you. Like some don't
like show me. So let's do it again.
Right. And then you get home and you're like, what is this? Like I did all that time and there's not a single, like y'all couldn't tell me to do one thing different,
Yeah. So I was afraid to say, can we do it again? And then it's like, okay, well, especially if I'm paying for it, we have to do this again. We need to do some more. We need to do different things. How has cosplaying impact your life? Meaning, do you feel it's? I feel it's helped me make more friends. I've always had good self-esteem. I grew up in the 60s. So, I could care less about what people say about me. And it took me a long time to get okay with my weight. And at this point, I'm a plus size. I'm happy with that. But how do you, for me, it brought me to you guys. It's like, and then I go and I meet other people. You meet all of these people on Instagram and you're like, oh, I can't wait to be your friend. I can't wait to meet you and then meet you at the con. And then, you're inspiring other people and you don't realize that you're inspiring other people. How does it make you feel? How has cosplaying made you feel?
It's definitely helped me a lot. I came into this coming through the end of a dark period. In my life, I have struggled with depression and, a bunch of stuff pretty much all of my life. And it gave me newfound confidence in general, like not just as like who I'm presenting myself, to the world as and all of that, but just speaking to people, getting to know new people. When I was younger, I considered myself like the weird one, and if we're going to say I'm weird, then we're all weird together in this. And so I'm not the awkward one of the bunch. There's a few of us in the bunch awkward, and we click and we connect. And then there's so many different groups of people that come together with cosplay that you just naturally, like, you learn, oh, you like this too outside of cosplay, and you connect. Yes. And so I've formed my family, my group of people that I can come to and have fun with and do all sorts of different things, from cosplay to raves, everything. together like through this community, and like it helped me really, really come out of my shell, like a lot, a whole lot, because I was a hermit.
Yes, James, you're weird. We already know that.
And I be in the streets now, y'all. I went from hermit to the streets, and I'm sorry. Like, what was the song on TikTok? What is it? I'm going to the streets. The streets is calling my name. I'm going to the streets. The streets is calling my name.
So from the hermit to now you're running the streets. Okay. I see that. I see what cosplay for you.
My kids trying to make me sit down. So I love it. I love y'all, because I wouldn't be here without y'all. And it's helped my mental health a whole lot.
Mapetite?
I can say the same. I'm very much like an introvert. A lot of people don't believe that, but I am. I will stay at home as long as possible, and I will only go outside when I'm being called to. But yeah, cosplay has helped me, one, find a very positive and healthy creative outlet. Because I would even let myself be artsy in a way. I was always like the music kid, and I was like, well, I can't do art because my brother did art, sort of thing. But you know, as a little kid, you only think that art is like painting or sketching or something like that. Like what we do is literally art. Like, you know, the way how we create things. I'm not a seamstress. I wish I could sew, but I am not. But I can do some things with some E6000. But you know, like creating my crowns and the things that I have made, you know, have been hand sewn, whatever. But it's like I have learned how to dye wigs, like synthetic wigs, you know, making my flower crowns and things like that. It's like I have found such a positive and healthy creative outlet that is a magnet for other creative people. And I think that's just one of those beautiful things that you really, I don't know, almost can't be grateful enough for. That you know that if you show up, you're going to be in a room with a lot of people that you're at least starting somewhat on the same page with. And even as Bree said, like it can spiral into other things. It's like, oh yeah, cool, I cosplay, but I also like this, and I like this, and I like this. And I'm like, well, now we can do all the things. And that is beautiful. It does help you find a community. It does make you feel at home, because so many of us grew up being the weird kid that nobody would talk to. And so now being the weird adult, we at least have the money that we want to do anything with, and nobody can tell us any differently. So that's just, you know, it's just a beautiful thing. And I feel like when you go to like certain Comic Cons, or like they have the anime raves or the anime bar, like there's all these new things that you can do. Even something like Dungeons and Dragons, it's like you can find so many different communities through the art of cosplay, and it's gorgeous.
Okay, so with you going to Comicpalooza and not seeing many Black people, ma'am, what did you do?
I grabbed as many as possible. I told them we were meeting at the 3rd floor at like, it was like 7 o'clock, 7:30, something like that. And then just started preaching as I do once everybody showed up. And it was a good amount of people. I want to say it was maybe 30, 40 people. And I was like, I don't know how y'all feel. I only know how I feel. Is that if we're in this building with 100,000 people, and there's only about 5 that look the same as us, something is wrong here. And then immediately founded a Facebook group that night, you know, added as many people on Facebook as possible, and then created the group of Texan Melanin Geeks.
And that is not just for cosplaying. What else do?
It is really just a group for people of color nerds, so that you do not have to go to a Comic-Con by yourself. You don't have to go to an anime con by yourself. Hell, if you just want somebody to go see the newest Spider-Man movie with you, make an event. Let us all show up together. And even something as simple as we all just show up to the same bar and cosplay, you know? Or there's a pop-up shop. It's a way of networking. We can support Black-owned businesses because there are plenty of Black-owned comic book stores, plenty of Black people that make their own comic books. And, children's books, there's so much. If you know of something that we can do to support our community, which is already being a Black nerd is this small, post it in there. And it was really just to create a sense of community as well. The people in this group like anime, like Lord of the Rings, like Marvel, like Harry Potter. And maybe every now and then somebody doesn't want to go to the movies by themselves, or they don't want to go to a Comic-Con by themselves. Hell, they don't want to go to Ren Fair by themselves. Just say, hey, I don't know if anybody's free on Saturday. We're all going to Ren Fair. And everybody shows up. Yay me.
So with Ren Fair, what made you get into Ren Fair? When did you start doing that?
I started in 2017.
Were you just going, or did you start to work there? Did you go first and then started to work, volunteer, or?
No, I actually, because growing up here in Houston, and we have like one of the oldest and I think the actual largest Renaissance festival in the country, if not the world, because it's like 70 acres. I've been going to the Texas Renaissance Festival in North Houston, maybe since I was like 14 or 15 years old. And it was just kind of one of those things, like if a group of friends were going, they'd be like, oh yeah, we're going to Ren Fair. You want to come with us? Like, sure. So if anything, that may have been even my first quote unquote introduction to cosplay, because I didn't know anything about the Ren Fair. I didn't know nothing about that. But I've always been like a lover of old literature. Like I love Shakespeare. I love all of those sort of things. I was so obsessed with the Victorian time period and things like that. So those were the first times that I probably ever dressed up, but I didn't even know it was really a thing. But anyway, back to 2017. James, I will definitely.
Yeah, every weekend is a different
theme.
Theme.
Every weekend's a different theme, and for the longest, I really didn't even know that. But 2017, I remember my friend she saw like on Facebook that they were having their job fair or something like that, and she didn't have a job at the time. But I was already working full time and stuff like that. But she was like, well, let's just go to the job fair and check it out, see what we see. So her being the shy introvert that she was, like, she wasn't even really going up to anybody. But I saw one shop, which I have still worked at like to this day. They stuck with me. But but yeah, like we went to the job fair. We saw everybody. They made like all the shop owners get on the stage and pretty much just do like a little spiel. So then after pretty much all the shop owners introduce themselves, then they open it up to the public so that you could pretty much just walk the fair, go up to different shops. And if you hadn't wanted to put an application or talk to somebody, like, you could. So we went to this one shop, talked to them, and I ended up, I guess, getting interviewed first. And I was like, well, I'm just here. But since I'm here, I guess. So anyway, going with my friend to get her a job, we both walked out at working at the same place. Like, she ended up working Saturdays and I was working Sundays, because I was like, I'm not going to do both days, because I'm literally already had a full-time job working 5 days a week. So I started working and I only did like I did Saturdays only. And then she did Sundays. And then I just really just had a blast. And so the shop owners were like, well, there's another fair. It's halfway between Houston and Austin. It starts in the spring. Would you be interested in working there? And I was like, oh, like this is a thing, because the only one that I ever knew was TRF, because TRF is right here in Houston. So I didn't know of any of the other ones. So working in the spring at Sherwood Forest Fair, which is more of a medieval fair, and it's literally based on Robin Hood, called Sherwood. And then I just saw that it was a whole different environment, and it was just so loving and welcoming, and it was much smaller. So it just it felt very homey. And then people were talking about how this fair was going on next and this one, and people were going to Colorado and New York and Pennsylvania. And I was like, this is a thing. So I haven't been to a lot of them. I've been to Colorado. I've been to most of the Texas fairs. And I want to say there was one coming up. But
Now,
anyway.
what was the one that was on Hulu or Netflix? Was that
that was TRF, the one here in Houston. That was that one.
Okay, and that was just showing the dark side of TRF?
Yeah, in a way it was. It was definitely kind of a hot mess because the whole premise is that the owner, King George, he's getting older. So everybody's just kind of freaking out of what's the next step going to be. Like, who is going to essentially be the king or queen of the fair once George goes. So if you haven't watched the documentary, you can. It's more like a docudrama in a way. Even with all the time that I've been there, I have never met King George personally, so I can't really say anything. I've always kind of been in my own little bubble with it because there wasn't a lot of Black people at the fair and things like that. And I'm lucky that my bosses, which is a husband and wife that own a shop, they are very like mama bear, papa bear. They took very good care of me. And, they'd be like, well, if you go out there, I'm going to let you know X, Y, Z, blah, blah, blah. But they were pretty much just like, it was such a family vibe that I really didn't even want to explore more stuff. So only in the last 2 years, more people have even learned my name. I used to literally show up, do my job, hang out with my little shop family and like go home. So even now I'm venturing out more, but I can say over the last maybe year or two, the increase of people of color at Ren fairs has skyrocketed, and it is beautiful to see. I love to see it. And the one thing that I will truly say on that is the Europeans weren't the only ones who were fucking alive at that time. Okay? Show up in your African garb. If you are Asian, show up in your Asian culture. Show up, bring your culture to the Renaissance Fair, because them white people weren't the only ones there. All of us existed. And that's something that I have personally tried to do over the maybe last year or 2 years is get more African skirts, get more African print, and wear that while I'm at fair. Because you can't tell me that I got a dress like I'm at Huzzah, what's up, Dom? How you doing? See, there goes one of my Ren Fair babies right there. Yeah, like incorporating more of my own culture into the Ren Fair, because you look at Renaissance paintings, there are plenty of Black people in it, but they don't show you those. You got to go to a museum and find those. Like, we existed. So I've seen an uptick in more people coming to fair and seeing them starting to wear their own culture. And honestly, it almost brings me to tears every time. I want to see that. Do that. Come to the Renaissance Fair, but bring your own culture. You do not have to put on a Victorian dress. You don't have to put on a peasant dress. You can wear whatever we wore back then. Put on a grass skirt and a beaded bra. I don't give a shit. Show up like you were gonna go see Black Panther. What they gonna tell you? What they gonna say to you? Nothing.
Yeah,
that's
James. There were every weekend, and the one weekend that only sticks in my mind was the Barbarian weekend, to where these people truly look like freaking Conan the Barbarian. These men would come in and have barely nothing on. Like,
literally a loincloth.
I'm gonna need y'all to put some clothes on. I'm gonna need y'all to put some damn clothes on. Okay?
That'll be the one that people remember, because they're just like, how do you literally show up in public with literally nothing but a loincloth on?
I'm trying to remember I'm looking at the weekends, because I have to tell y'all the first one I went to.
Please
and
do.
I went late on accident because I didn't know the things. Oh, was it?
While you figure that out, I'll answer James' question.
It might have been Barbarian, but when I went, okay, so this is when my older kids were young, right? So they were probably like, I don't know, 5 and 2 or something like that. And a friend invited me, but she had never been there either. And we go, and it was the Barbarian, but everyone's in like chains. It wasn't like, now has gone more, well, I feel like what I've seen is more of like the fur type stuff, but it was like chains, and it wasn't a whole lot on under it.
Chainmail. You're thinking of
chainmail. Yeah. They're all in, like, I'm talking about some nothing. And I got my kids, because I'm thinking I'm going to a family event. This was years ago. Because I didn't go for a few more years. I was distraught.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got my littles, and I'm like, where did y'all bring me? What is going on?
Yeah, I will say that Barbarian weekend is the weekend that will make or break people because
I came on the wrong. It took me some years to go.
The other thing that I could say is that when it comes to the Texas Renaissance Festival, I can't really say that it's a kid-friendly one. Like, they have their kid-friendly days. Like, Sunday's probably your safer day, but also just the thought of, like, maybe like Fairy Weekend. Like, that's a good one to go because everybody's just dressed in mystical clothing. But if you're going to something like Pirate or Barbarian, people are literally only there to get drunk, and half of them are naked. So that's definitely not the one to go to. Yeah, even Dominic said 1001 Dreams is Fairy Weekend. Yeah, 1001 Dreams is Fairy Weekend. That's the one to go to. Like, those are safer. But that's also why I love Sherwood Forest Fair so much. It's located pretty close to Bastrop. So literally Houston, Austin in the middle, like literally like halfway drive is where Sherwood Forest Fair is. And that is a very kid friendly. I mean, like, they have fairy tea parties, fairy story time, like scavenger hunts and quests, like, and so many, and they have like kid-friendly activities. So I would say, especially if you have little ones, go to Sherwood Forest Fair. If you're an adult and you literally just like want to get drunk, go to TRF. Like, that's honestly how it is. Because Dominic said, and then love the Barbarians brave clothing. And now I gotta get back to James, because James said, I gotta ask, how do you go to Ren Fair? Is it in Renaissance cosplay or Trek cosplay? Now I will say, since more and more people are just being attracted to the Ren Fair, you are going to see people that are wearing their Star Trek outfits. To me, Star Trek is the one that I actually do excuse, because at least they were travelers. At the end of the day, Star Trek, they showed up anywhere. So that kind of makes me laugh. And obviously, I'm a Trekkie. But seeing like anime cosplays and things like that at Ren Fair literally give me the ick. And I'm sorry, but they do. Unless you're taking something like Wonder Woman and you turn it in to a Renaissance cosplay, like the big skirts, the corset, bustiers, titties out, whatever, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's different to me. If you were to take something like, Xena the Warrior Princess, well, she was literally a warrior. That's gonna work. But showing up like Attack on Titan or anybody else at Ren Fair, it's just kind of just like, I know you wanted to wear your cosplay. You probably put a lot of money into it. But I'm very much one of those people. I'm going to say it. I like Ren Fair and Comic-Con separate. I don't want to see an anime cosplay at a Renaissance fair, because it's literally a Renaissance festival. Everybody there is Renaissance accents. People are eating
unless
a turkey.
It's your weekend.
Yeah, unless it's that weekend.
Cosplay weekend. That's it.
Yeah, and they don't really have. Well, Heroes and Villains might be the closest.
Heroes and Villains. That's
like. No, I don't like to see it. But for me, as someone who's worked there literally since 2017, I have a whole entire Ren Fair wardrobe. And I would say my vibe is very like cottagecore, probably even like hobbitcore, because over all fandoms on this planet, it's like Star Trek and Lord of the Rings. Like, if they're not neck and neck. Because those were the two that I really grew up with. Like, my parents were huge Trekkies. Like, we would watch Star Trek every night as a family. And then even with my brothers, especially with having brothers that were like 10 years and 7 years older than me, we heavily bonded over like Lord of the Rings. So like, those were the two things that I truly knew no matter what. Those were like, that's the family. That's what I grew up watching in my house. So something like that. It's like, if you're going to go to a Ren Fair, dress up like you're on a Lord of the Rings like convention or something. Like, I literally don't want to see Full Metal Alchemist on Fairy Weekend at fair. Like, it doesn't even make, like, not even close to making sense. It'd be different if people showed up like as witches. That was fairy related. Something that's still kind of on theme. But I'm very much a separate Comic Cons, anime cons, and Ren Fair. They are two completely different things. They really don't coincide that much unless you're just somebody who knows how to take, I don't know, because I've seen some really good mashups of people making more of a Renaissance Batman or like things like that. Like, you can take a character and turn it into,
yeah,
you definitely can, because I've seen it, and I've seen it plenty of times. But no, I don't want to see anybody doing a Naruto run at the freaking Ren Fair.
But there's a lot of themes. So, like you said, there's a day that you can do something, heroes and villains, fairies. Because I've pretty much been to a lot of fairy days. I think fairy is my day. I really want to do a barbarian day, but
there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, me and a couple friends, we went to Barbarian Weekend dressed as the Jabari from Black Panther. You can do what you want to do.
Yeah.
The dudes in loincloths weren't the only barbarians around. You know what I'm saying? Like, we
dress
up like the Jabari
make
tribe.
it your own. Yeah, you make it your own. Exactly. All right, guys. So we're about to wrap this up, and I'm choosing violence. So you can only pick one. Which one is your favorite, Marvel or DC?
Marvel. That's easy.
I like Marvel's heroes and DC's villains. But I'll say
that's valid. I think that's valid.
That is like my thing. Like, I love a DC villain and I love a Marvel hero. But if I had to choose one, I'll pick Marvel.
That's you know what? Looking at that, DC does have better villains than Marvel. So it's Marvel superheroes versus DC's villains. Wow, that's nice.
Oh my God, we should do a photo shoot of that. That would be.
Look, see?
Marvel heroes and DC villains.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cute. I'm down with that. I mean, for me, I would say I didn't grow up reading any of the DC comics, to be honest, and most of my exposure to DC was through television and movies, and I'm like, how many frickin' times can you make the same Batman movie over and over again? I just got real sick of all that. But
really,
I would say comic book wise, Dragon Con does that photo shoot. Oh yeah, Dragon Con does do that photo shoot. I've seen it before.
Dragon Con.
But I feel like Marvel does have some good villains. It just depends on whose stories that you're reading. Yeah. And when it comes to Marvel, you can't base it off of the movies because they have purposely made those family friendly, because there's plenty in Marvel that is not family friendly. You know what I mean? Most of the villains that Marvel has had, they have nerfed them down so much. People are not as powerful as they're supposed to be. If you were to say the name Dr. Doom, you should be shaken with fear. If I were to say almost anybody, even Thanos wasn't as scary as he was in the comic books. They haven't made anybody as scary as they should be. And if you're reading some of the arcs, whether it's a Spider-Man arc or the X-Men were fighting body, and they were fighting literally deities. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody was doing that. The only deity they knew was Thor, and Thor was on their side. The X-Men got down and dirty with plenty of people. So even saying that, I'm still a Marvel girly, but at the end of the day, I'm an X-Men girly. I don't care about nobody. As long as I got them X-Men comics, I don't give a shit.
Okay, so before you tell, I want you guys to tell everybody where they can find you. I got one more question. What's your dream con? What's the con that's of your dream that you want to go to? Whether it's in United States, outside United States, what's one con that you heard of that you wish you can go to?
My very first thought was San Diego, and then I very, very, very thought of New York extremely after that. It was the very first thought I heard was San Diego, just because of the thoughts of I want to see all those movie previews. I want to see what's coming next. I get real excited for that. Even a D23, I would love to see what Disney's making next. I like to know that stuff. And then part of me is just I feel like I would love to go to New York just for the community of cosplay. I would go to San Diego for all the information, but I would go to New York to enjoy cosplaying.
Brie, what's your
dream? That's so hard because I still feel like I'm still learning all the cons. I only knew about Comic Cons for the longest, San Diego and New York, and then I just went to Comic-Palooza this year for the first time. So I feel like I'm such a baby, but I mean, of course, we all want to go to one of the big ones. But I kind of like.
I'm gonna need to take y'all to. Well, the only big one that I've been to was Dragon Con, and I need to take y'all to that one because y'all would love that. It's melanin, and y'all would love that. There's other people there too, but it is more melanin than anything else. San Diego is not on my list to go to. In New York Comic Con, they're just too damn strict with their trying to get your props in. So I can't deal with them. So those two are not something that I want to deal with. I've been to Canada. I went to HowlCon. That was great. And got my tickets set for MegaCon in Orlando. So I'll let y'all know how that is. My goal for 2025 is to travel. So I'm going to need to start to bring y'all with me.
Same. I definitely want to travel. I do want to get out and see more. I would love to go to Dragon Con, actually. I feel like I have a long list. Like, I just want to go to everything just to see it and experience it once.
Oh my God. When I tell you, you would be tired as hell 5 days, and I had the nerve to try and do 2 cosplays a day, 5 days.
A day?
2 per day for 5 days. That's 10 cosplays. I lost my damn
mind. And there is y'all's inspiration.
That's not mine, because you ain't never gonna catch me switching cosplays 2 times in one day unless I'm doing a photo shoot.
The one be hard. The one be hard. Do you know what we go through? No. And my stuff is basic.
That's why I drive. I take everything but damn kitchen sink. Right. Take everything because I can't forget anything. And you just, the morning you're doing this, and then in the afternoon you're doing this.
That's crazy. No, ma'am, I struggle with 2 in a days.
Bree, tell people where they can find you on Instagram, TikTok,
Instagram
Facebook.
And TikTok, and even Facebook. I'm Queerasscosplayer, all of them.
Mapetite.
Let's see. I have a Twitter. Can't say that I use it. I guess it's X now. I don't even know. Anyway, you can probably find me on all social media. I do have a YouTube. I do have a TikTok. I do have an Instagram. I got a Facebook, and I got a Twitter. I'm all those. If you type in Mapetitecosplay, I'm sure you'll find me.
And I want to thank my handler in the back, James. Thank you, moderator. I appreciate you all the time. And definitely thank Moana Nui Podcast, because without you, we would not be here. James, come up to the front so we can see you. That's right. I said show your face.
Hi.
James from Earth 42.
Yes.
It's the Marvel Universe that is home to Miles Morales. So
valid. No arguments there.
But I've enjoyed y'all this evening because I still consider myself a novice cosplay. I am not going as far as makeup. I will gladly put a mask on to cover this mug. But yeah, I have 2 go-to cosplays. I do. I have a Tri-Lam sweater that I've had for pretty much a decade now that I normally wear to Dragon Con. That gets a lot of attention. So everyone's like, "Oh, Tri-Lam, yeah, Revenge of the Nerds." I'm like, all right, cool. Do you know which one I am, though? That's always a gotcha moment, because I don't really mean to like make people feel embarrassed, but it's always a non-melanated person who walks up to me and just casually asks, "Are you Lamar?" Like, no, I'm one of the OG Tri-Lams. And then they just have this confused, dumbfounded look on their face, like they don't know, like I just said something that went right over their head. And I'm like, you do realize the fraternity the Nerds pledge was a Black fraternity. You know, the brothers who came in at the end to save them from the Alpha Betas? Yeah, I'm one of them. And then it's like they get this sheepish look on their face, like literally all the color just left their face as if there wasn't any there to begin with. And then they just scurry off like, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend." And I just smile like my work is done. And then there's my Guardian from Destiny 2, which is a video game I play. So, which is real easy because it's streetwear in my closet. It's jeans, a hoodie, t-shirt, a vest, maybe some buttons and a cape, but that's about it. But this has been one tonight. I've enjoyed everything.
Well, thank you for moderating as always. You are there for us. And my girls, thank you guys for stepping in this month as I do this once a month with my girl Teresa. Thank you for stepping in. And we got to do that. Down, down, down.
Oh,
We got
yeah,
to do
that's
that.
happening.
We
That's
got to
happening.
put our witch costumes on. We got to sing the song. Y'all got to send me the videos so I can cut it and do those videos.
Oh, we got one last question. What advice do you have for someone who might be interested?
I'm gonna pick you up for a photo shoot like they did me.
Listen, we
There you
kind of
go.
do that. We kind of do that. I will tell you a time.
There you
a
go. You know
location,
me.
show
I'm gonna
up.
pick you up. What's our next photo shoot?
where
The
are
gangster
you?
phase, I think.
Yeah, gangsta phase. You got that in you. So just
Where-
go ahead and start putting that costume together. I'm gonna
Who
pick
is
you
that?
up.
Is that your friend?
Yes. Yeah.
They're here in Houston?
Yeah. And
Okay, so yeah.
Yep. And I'm
Get
gonna
your
pick you
gangster
up.
cosplay together. I don't care how you do it. Pick a gangster from whatever century that you want to pick, and make it gangster. Just do that. If you want to put a strap on and with a gun holster and a white shirt, open it up with some black pants and looking like Pam Grier and make that gangster, that's gangster. Do whatever it is that you want to do, because this one down here, she's doing Cookie Lions as gangster.
I am Cookie Lion right
You
here.
you pick whatever strong woman you want to pick and make her gangster,
And just throw on your little face spin on it. Because we're going to be fae. We're going to be fairies, ogres, whatever you want to be.
You need to put some ears on. We're going to be fae. We're going to be fae.
I look forward to these photos.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's going to be a
But
good
for
one.
everyone else, just like pick something that's your favorite that you really like, and you can start with stuff in your closet.
Yes.
You can look up closet cosplays. You don't have to spend all the money, because this does get expensive if you're extra like us. But just you literally can type in a character, put closet cosplay, and start there, and just wearing what you like. And we have anime bar, and what's the other one? There's another place here in Houston that is like
Neil's
a bar that you can wear your cosplay to and stuff like that. There's lots of events. Follow us. We post events that we'll be at and stuff like that. Just go for it. Do the thing. It's always scary because I'm still very socially awkward and don't always feel like it anymore. Like, I'm the person who plans and then I'm over it until I get there. And it's always a great time. Like, you'll never regret it.
That's
There
right.
you go.
Cleopatra Jones.
Cleopatra
There you go.
Jones.
That's your gangster. Make
So
her.
put that together with the fae. And just so y'all know, she sews and stuff. So
Okay,
she already,
so ma'am,
she
that
already
means
does
that
something really
you're
cute
gonna
thing.
help me start making clothes. So you shouldn't have told us that you sew, because now you my sewer. Until I can learn how to sew, you gonna sew my shit, because I have a lot of stuff for you to do, and I'm gonna pay you. It's not like I'm not gonna pay you.
Right, we pay.
But
We
she
pay.
does. This is my friend that does the tea parties that I go to.
Oh, I want a tea party. Why are we not throwing a fae tea party? We can throw
Yeah,
a
she
fae
just
tea
did a
party.
It was all over the
Bridgerton.
place.
She did
Yes.
Bridgerton?
Yeah, there was a Bridgerton.
Oh
tea
no,
party.
because at this point we just gonna fight. Where was my invite for the Bridgerton tea party?
Yes,
Right?
and it's a real tea party.
Sorrows. Where the hell is my invite?
Sorrow's prayers is what you're gonna say after we meet, because I'm a hurt you first and then I'm gonna hug you. I'm gonna hurt you then hug you.
So yeah.
Yes, we love tea.
Oh, and I forgot to say that y'all can follow me, Magical Me Cosplay. I forgot about that.
I did it.
You did a fairy tea party. So
I'm
I'm choosing violence. I'm going to show up in my Cersei cosplay and see. It'll be a red wedding. How about that?
Game of Thrones tea party. Okay, no.
See, we
Geneva,
all
you need
these
to text us immediately.
ideas.
You need to DM us immediately, because
Okay, is
when
she
I
not
say,
in the group?
I don't know.
I think she's in the group already. I'm pretty
You
sure.
in TMG?
If she's not, I'll put her in there. But I'm pretty sure.
Please put her in there so that we can start creating these tea party events. We need a Game of Thrones tea party event.
Because one thing about it,
but we can have we need a red wedding tea party event.
We need a red wedding. I'm the person, I got an idea for everything, but I'm also an MC and host. I literally MC and host Geneva. I MC and host. We got ideas and we can get it popping. Literally.
Yeah, we out of control.
I did a fairy tea party, but did you do a black fae tea party?
No, so it's a everybody tea party, but there's a lot of us there. The pictures are literally on my page, y'all. Like, I don't pay attention to me.
You know, I don't do social media. That's the only reason why I don't have 100 million followers, is because I show up once every 6 months and be like, I'm alive, and then I disappear again.
You're right. I don't even have all my photo shoots on my page. So
no.
Okay. But she needs to be in the group so we can start creating these parties to go to and have more events. More events for us to go to. Now that the weather's starting to get cooler, we can start making more photo shoots. And our black photographer is coming into town, so we can start making these photo shoots.
Shout out Dr. Sade Jackman.
Okay, guys, thank you for joining the Costober.
Thank you for having us.
October is Cosplayers Christmas. So 31 days of cosplay makeup is a goal of mine, and I will never achieve that. I'm telling y'all that right now. I know for a fact I will never achieve that, because there's no way in hell on a Sunday that I'm going to be doing makeup. I'm going to be sleeping, trying to deal with the house. So maybe 10 days out of the 31 days that I'll be doing makeup, but this is my first day. So thank you guys for joining Opinionated Variants of the 616. Because we say how we feel and we do how we feel. And this is my universe. So thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you. Thank you, James, for moderating. Love you.
You too.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.
So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will.
If this the land of the free, it was a freedom then, when they annexed Hawaii and called it Cedar Lands, without any type of payment and no signing off. Called themselves the Republic in 1894. 1.2 million acres overtaken from the native Hawaiians. When they resisted, the West retaliated in violence and erasure. The Hawaiian language is banned as part of colonialism's plan to expand,
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No work out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. We will.
So if we put Hawaii into perspective, well, Black and Asian history is interconnected. Considering the fight with the Pacific, then of course versus Asia, they was treated as a middleman for war, but didn't let the Western colorism run its course. Cause dark skin was a sign of dignity to core. The land was taken in the name of capitalism, when prior to it was an actual kingdom. Clap back at the system.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No work out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If he won't tell, then we will. Too many stories left to tell. Even if we have to ourselves, can keep history on the shelf. If he won't tell, then we will. We will.